Hello, everybody. Welcome. How's it going? Welcome to another edition of Thursday Night Live. We're at number 33. Holy shit. What's up, Hootie Hoo?
2 threes.
We got the double threes. Them 33s rolling down the road.
We're going to paint 33 inside a Buick.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. It's gonna leave it the way it is. As long as it makes it till spring. That's all I can ask.
Well, it's extra paint. Keep it from rusting.
Extra paint.
Just get some super gloss paint to help it, streamline and go faster.
No. Just ate some dinner. Well, that's cool, man. Thanks for coming. I bet you are ready for Christmas. I bet you got some kids there are ready to rip the walls down.
I'm happy mine are grown up and moved out. And disliked. Wait a minute, I just made myself sound horrible.
That's not Rust, that's Go Fast Dust. It's recording to go.
Go Fast Dust. That Chevy pickup truck of his must go really fast.
No, that's what you call nature's weight reduction. That's what it is.
When stuff starts falling off, it's just marking this area.
Well, no, like I said, that's nature's weight reduction. That's
actually, I thought for a couple minutes about Gopher's truck he had for sale. I was looking at his pictures and video. I'm like, you know what? Lines ain't hard to change, and rocker panels ain't hard to change either.
what, that dually?
No, it's not dually.
Is that the on and off the truck? That's his father's, I think you said.
That's a Silverado.
Yeah. I thought you was talking about the dually for a minute.
No.
Rocker panels, hell, Ohio, that's optional.
Well, Pennsylvania, if it looks like they should be there, then it should be there. They might be cardboard with duct tape over it, but it should be there. Oh man, it's the Mad Gopher.
Oh my God, that is the laugh of death.
That's usually the last thing you hear before it all goes black.
Because that's the laugh of death right there.
Oh, I've got to come over and see you this summer, Gopher. I got something for you.
Oh no, I've got plenty of penicillin. I'm not sure.
No. This is a skull.
Oh yeah, what did you invite somebody over for dinner?
No. This is one of the fish. I have a fish tank skull that was given to me that I don't use. I was going to just pass it on to you.
Oh well, I would appreciate it.
Figured you could do something with it and make something funny out of it or something.
Put it on my neck to let the cat play with it, or
yeah. See, I do almost the same thing with snakes, trying to get my dogs to play with me, and they don't work.
Oh, you could always put it on the other side of the Gopher. That way, the other one has a buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Fred?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what that stands for, right?
I can guess, but go ahead and enlighten
No,
us.
Fred, F-R-E-D. Fucking ride every day.
Okay.
That's old biker crap.
What's up, Cave Troll? How's it going, man?
True.
In-house troll today?
Mike, I still got this. I still got one of these to give you. I made you one. What was it? 2 years ago. Ain't been
You
back
gave
up
me
there.
yours.
Huh?
You gave me it.
No, I didn't.
It's sitting on my stand.
I think it's still in the drawer.
Mine's still on the. Mine's sitting on the stand.
Is it?
Yep, because I changed the chain. I have a silver chain I put it on.
It looks like this.
Yep.
I guess, God, I don't even remember giving that to you.
Yep, you gave it to me at the Buckeyes.
I did?
Yep. Now, who's getting old timers?
Yeah, that's the first thing to go, right?
God, I don't remember that. I'll have to look. I could have sworn I still have it.
Or maybe it's the second. I can't remember either.
Wow. And we are starting out right today. Hell yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I thought that was pretty wild.
Why is that?
I like the just talking thing. If you get out there and just drive around the car and keep that up and everything. But 300, I can't even see that far.
Yeah. Oh, see, my problem is sometimes when I get talking on a subject, I'll run on. And like I cut that video because that video would have, if I just would have let it roll, it would have made like 14 minutes.
Well, just do it like Mike does. Just let her fly.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've ADD conversations with myself.
Yeah, just let it go.
No, don't give me that kind of power, guys. Don't.
Well, see, then you cut it up and make several videos out of it and put them back to back so it makes sense.
Well, that's what I do now. I cut them up and.
No other editing. Just cut them right in one spot. No other editing. Just let it fly. Be lazy about it.
That would be great. I mean, there's a lot of times when I'll be doing it and I start editing stuff and then I realize, well, you all can't hear all the voices anyway. So I'm editing out voices that don't exist for you.
Yeah.
You're just following what the voices tell you, right?
Oh no! I did that a couple of times. That's what ended up being a long vacation. I don't trust those bastards anymore at all.
They're worse than the government.
No, I think the government implanted that stuff when I wasn't watching. My tinfoil hat, I'm going to have to get some new tinfoil.
Just double up.
You got to change that out every once in a while.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like underwear. You got to rotate them at least once a month.
Turn inside out. You're good.
Yeah, you can wear them like 6 times. Let's say inside out, back to front, front to back, side to side. If you like compressing legs in one hole.
I never heard that. Side to side. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's kind of rough on the gonads, though. You got to shove both legs in one hole.
No, I think at that point you just give up and you just cut a slit in both sides that way.
Well, usually I used to wear them until I didn't have them on anymore. And then I realized I didn't remember taking them off. Well, now we know what happened. They just disappeared.
They deteriorate. It's funny how that works, right?
Yeah, it was funny, all right.
Biodegradable.
You wake up the next day gagging on something. You wonder, well, what did I eat?
I don't wear edible underwear.
Yeah, that was the problem. Neither did I. You
That's
find that
optional.
stuff out too late.
I do chew on pillows every now and then.
There was a comedian made a joke about edible underwear. Who was that? I think that was Larry the Cable Guy. He joked about if they made like a pair of edible underwear that was like biscuits and gravy.
Oh, that had to be one of the guys on the comedy tour with the
Yeah,
redneck
it's Larry the
comedy
Cable
tour.
Guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Well, that's because I think no, he let out his real name and then he kind of just kind of faded away. He pretty much rode his chance of fame and decided that once people found out what his real name was, he kind of went away.
My real name's Chester.
Yeah, that's why I use an alias.
My real name's Chester.
Wait a minute, were you in a magazine back in the 70s?
Chester the Jester.
Maybe.
Oh my God.
I can't be the only one old enough to remember all that crap.
You can't be? I don't know about that. There's stuff there's stuff that people don't know about that I know about.
I know a lot of stuff because I'm a time traveler.
Oh, are you?
I thought I
Yeah,
saw you before.
1 second at a time, straight forward. I think never go back.
1 second at a time.
Oh, if we could only go back. Oh my.
I don't want to go back. It's too scary.
I'm lucky I made it through
Oh.
the first time.
I wouldn't mind going back, but there's a few things I would change.
If I would be able to go back, I would make things worse. I know. If I know now, if I knew back then what I know now, I'd definitely make things worse.
Actually, the only thing I would change is I would get the bike a lot sooner.
Like back in 2009? Before somebody molested it?
No, I would have had a bike before. By at least, I would have started riding probably back in 07, 08. So about, yeah. Except for I would have had an 08 instead of an 09. But yeah, I would have started riding back then, and if I would have did that by now, I probably would have. I would have been one of them assholes that had the big BMW and. Been around the world twice type of deals.
$20 just like downtown.
I would have spent my money a lot differently, and I would have. You know, they say hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, I'm sitting here pondering all the things that I would change, and you know what? I think I'd have to go all the way back to the sperm injection to fix my problems.
Clean back whenever you came across the lake with Christopher, huh?
I might have to go all the way back to Scotland and Ireland to fix the genetic problems. I'm not sure.
You start slapping your.
I would go back about 10 years. I'd go back 10 years. That's about all I need. I need to go back about 10 years, make a few changes, and yeah, it's about right.
Start going back, start slapping your descendants for making stupid mistakes. You don't want to create me. Slap, slap.
No, I'd go back and make sure that they stayed away from those sheep.
Got a tendency of going, bah, huh?
Go away.
You know the joke about family tree doesn't have a fork. No. My family tree forks too much.
Whole lot of forking going on.
It's like, wait a minute. Why is there part of the animal kingdom over here?
Yeah, my family wasn't real particular. If they couldn't shoot it and eat it, they was mating it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order.
Oh shit. Not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, they confused easy.
I tried to get some video of driving in the snow yesterday. I forgot to charge my batteries. And I thought, we'll see if it. I had one I had about half charge. I said, maybe it'll hold out. Went to turn it on. I think I got like 10 seconds of video, and I heard the camera turn off. I'm like, well, there went that idea.
We need to get you a cigarette charger lighter.
I have it. I just didn't have it with me. That and plus the GoPro won't take, or the battery has to be like 10% for it to take a charge and run. If it's anything below that, yeah, really cat. Anything below that, it won't stay powered long enough. The draw's too much.
Now that the Hero 5 Black that I have these little power cells that I can plug it into, and I've had that thing completely flat, plugged it in, and just used those as my battery while it was charging the battery. It was running off the power cell.
I have a couple battery banks too, or I have a battery bank, but see this camera on the back here, there's a little port. You can get what's called a battery eliminator, which you can take this battery completely out.
Oh, yeah?
And just run off of a battery bank. I don't have that. But to plug in the charging port to here with the battery's got to be about at least 10% before. There's got to be about 10% buffer for it to charge and run.
Huh. Now that's a 4, right? That's a Hero 4?
Yeah, it's a 4 Black.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting some of the older Heroes like the 3s and the 4s because they seem to be rather cheap out there right now. And I wouldn't mind just having multiple ones of those stuck around. So I have in cab, out cab, on the outside, backside, some underneath, one in my seat, things like that.
If you're just wanting to do that, then just pick up one of these. Just a basic Hero. They're like $150 new. When I bought it, now they're probably. This is basically a Hero 3 that doesn't come out the case. But
okay. Now I've I've got a generic type of Chinese little whatever, and it's called an E-Tech. And it only costs like $50, and I got 2 extra batteries and an extra case and a big box full of all kinds of connectors and everything. And it works really good, but the sound on it's really crap.
But this can run completely dead plugged in into the port. I've ran this one completely dead. Matter of fact, one video I took this off on the bike and actually ran my battery bank to it. And I recorded the video from this to this camera, but I don't think I used the video. I just wanted to see if it would do it. But yeah, like I said, now these are probably a lot cheaper, but the only bad thing is the internal battery. If the battery ever goes bad, you basically just toss it. But when it's closed, it's fully waterproof, just like the GoPros. Takes a card. And it's a lot cheaper. I mean, this is pretty much a Hero 3 because the highest it does is like 1080 30. And it'll do 720 60. About 1080 30 is the highest this will do. So basically, it's a Hero 3.
How long does the battery last?
This I've never really ran it completely dead of recording. This will last longer than this.
Yeah, my Hero 5 Black, you get about 35 minutes of continuous recording at high resolution, and it's done. But the little E-Tech thing, the little generic Chinese knockoff thing that I've got, I can run it for an hour or more on that battery, and it's fine, but it's not as high resolution, and again, the sound's crappy.
What's up, Leaky?
I got the Hero 4 Silver because I'm racist.
Actually, the 4 Silver is actually feature for feature. The Hero 4 Silver is the better bang for buck. Because the Hero 4, the Silver actually gives you a screen on the back.
But you get a higher frame rate at 4K with the Black.
Yeah, this does give you the higher frame rate of 4K, but I'm not that. I don't have millions of subscribers to where I need to do 4K.
We got our cameras about the same time, so we actually were comparing each other's camera whenever we were first using them.
Father Tomcast Tennessee, he gets 2 hours. That's an all-in-one device too. Again, a lot of it has to do the encoding, and like I said, the real crazy thing with mine, because I got this, I ran it for maybe 3 weeks to a month, and then got the backpack for it because I wanted to go wireless. And at the end of this season, I went back to wired, so I didn't run it with the backpack. And the backpack has its own battery source, but I did notice that I actually got more runtime out of this without the backpack on it, which kind of confused me because they're not supposed to leech off each other. But I guess it does, because this has its own battery.
It lasts about 2 days with it turned off.
Because I actually ended up buying a couple extra batteries for my 4, because I get about, let's see here, I think I get like 40, 50 minutes if I run it completely dead to where basically the camera shuts off. And that's at 1080/60 Super View. But yeah, Father Tom's working.
I want cookies.
You want a cookie? You want cookies?
Yeah, Cam's making cookies.
Oh man. Tell Cam that he needs to start mailing cookies.
That's why you need a P.O. box.
I don't need a PO box. I can just go up and get them if I want them. I know where
No,
he lives.
you'd be surprised. I'm telling you, buddy, you'd be surprised what people send you. You would be surprised.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, who was it? Do It With Dan. Do It With Dan had trouble because people sent him stuff and wasn't allowed a P.O. box, I think, for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, if I'm going to get a P.O. box, it's not going to be local to me. It's going to be like a couple towns away, maybe a state away. Just because.
Mailing you pressure cookers.
Yeah.
Listen, you already correspond with me and Mike. You're already on all the list.
List of what, though?
Yeah, well, that is the question.
I'm on
I'm
many.
going to have to.
No, that ain't it, Father Tom. Christ's sakes. Invite me back up then. I'm one of these weird people that you need to invite me. I'm like a vampire. You got to invite me in. Oh, man. Am I going to do winter riding next year? Again, a lot of stuff hampers on what happens over the spring, summer. Pretty much, if I can get enough cold weather gear together, and if I have a second bike that I can outfit the KLR for more off-road riding, then I may attempt it. I can't say I'm going to ride up there to go cold weather riding with you. I mean, if I do, it's going to be like around my town, but what typically works for you after work, dinner? Saturdays I normally get done early. I was wanting to kind of, we'll talk about this later, Father Tom.
We should have a summer contest. See how little you can ride. Well, the temperature was 82 degrees out today, and I got minus 100 miles on my bike.
Then we can't invite Cycle Cruiser because he'll win.
Well,
and
if you invite him,
do you know who Cycle Cruiser is?
If you invite him, you definitely got to have Mike.
Do you know who Cycle Cruiser is?
Well, I know his videos. I don't know him personally.
Okay. Well,
I know him personally. He's my daddy.
Yeah. Who's your daddy?
Cycle Cruiser got a lot of flack over the summer for his CBR. He's had a CBR like 3 years. I think he had like 2,000 miles on it. and he bought it new.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and Cycle Cruise is one of these kind of guys. Like he's like, oh yeah, bike life, this, that, and like, oh, dude, how the hell can you be bike life when you had the bike for 3 years and put 2,000 miles on it?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his stuff. I don't watch it religiously because I just don't get the same feeling out of him that I do some of the other guys. But after listening to Mike talk about him, I definitely don't watch him anymore.
Oh, look at me! I got everyone starting to bash Cycle Cruiser now. I should feel bad.
I was just waiting for his bike reveal finale. I'm like, are you going to stick this on?
He revealed it, and he got exactly what I thought he got.
But the thing is, I don't think that's his. I think he's going to milk it for another year.
You think he borrowed it? Oh my gosh. But yeah, I don't know. Winter riding, that's the biggest thing is just having to sneak it in and out the door. If I had easier access to it, I would probably try to ride this year.
You just got to get going really, really, really fast.
Well, block walls and aluminum handlebars don't mix too well.
Build an igloo shed out back.
I don't know. I was kind of talking to Mike about this a little bit earlier. You know, if when the KLR becomes not my only bike, then I'm going to be willing to play with it a lot more. Because then, if I break it or something happens to it, then it's not my only bike, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like last couple summers, I mean, I used it as my primary transportation. So this year, my biggest goal is to get crash guards for it. Since it's been down once since I've had it, time to put crash guards on it, and
going an actual skid plate.
Yeah, that's cheap enough. I can get that too, and
instead of a plastic skid cover.
Dude, that's not even. That's just a rock. That's just a rock cover, and I want to change out the rear spring on the shock. So far, what I want to do is crash guards, skid plate, highway pegs, which that's going to come with the crash guards. Upgrade to rear spring, and probably do front springs too. And at some point over the year, I'm going to switch over to steel braided brake lines.
Can you still flat-foot it?
Oh, yeah, I have no problem flat-footing it.
So if you added a spring, could you get a little more travel out of it and soften the ride on the top end?
Well, the main reason for me upgrading the spring is I want to put a heavier spring on it. because it's still the stock spring, and I got the preload as high as it'll go, and it'll sag about 2 or 3 inches with me on it.
Yeah.
So I go from a 35-inch seat height to a 32, 31.
Do they make a progressive spring for that to where you could get like 2 to 3 inches softer ride, and then as it goes down and gets progressively stiffer?
Yeah, Mike has that on his. His front and rear springs on his are progressive shock springs. He's got the whole shock, the whole rear progressive shock.
Yep.
Right.
And the front springs are progressive.
Yeah, the reason
but the rear progressive shock is like $500.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because we used to run those on a lot of our off-road vehicles, and I come to find out that those are so much better than trying to tune your shock rate. Just much better ride.
Yeah, well, I'm still going to keep the factory shock. I'm just going to upgrade the spring on it, and then I'll change the preload and adjust the rebound on it, because you can still adjust the rebound on the factory shock.
Yeah, if it's got a valve dampening, knob on it, you can do that. That would work out really good.
It does. I looked into it. That's what decided me to actually decide just to change the spring, because right now, I mean, it's not as the preload and the dampening is not as fine tunable as Mike's, but it'll get me close enough for what I'm doing.
Yeah, because I'll stiffen mine up whenever for loading it down on trips. Then I'll lighten up the shock for whatever I'm just around town.
Because I looked at the rear progressive, and like I said, it's like $500, man.
Yeah, that's a stiff piece. I mean,
I mean, again, you can't put a price on good performance, but
well, that's true. But with your possible motor issues, you might want to redirect that into that.
Well, it's not really an issue. It's just, I don't know how long it's been like that. And I'm debating if it's worth going back or leaving it, because I'm going to pop it off and I'm going to do another valve check. And like I said, in order to change the shims, I got to pop the cams out anyway. So if I'm going to do it, that would be the time to take it back.
Yeah, while you have it apart, that would be good.
Heck, he found out he was missing the bypass valve for the oil filter last year. He had to buy it and put it back in. He was changing the oil filter. He pulled it out and said, "Isn't there supposed to be a tube in there?" Like, yeah. Mike don't have it.
See, that's things that make me all PO'd and stuff when I get something at a decent price and it's a good deal and la la la, and then you start tearing into it. And that's why the Flossie Trike's not on the road at all right now, because it is almost a total rewire, total run, all new brake lines, all new fittings, all new welds, all new suspension and stuff's got to be moved. They had it so jacked up. It wasn't safe at all. So that's when you go to find things like that. It's running good, it sounds good, but that's for the 2 seconds you hear it before you buy it.
Oh, it's just like his KLR will run a lot cooler than mine. We think that he hasn't looked yet, but we think that they actually just threw away the thermostat.
Oh, I know it's not there. I haven't pulled it out, but I know it's not there.
Is it just stuck open?
I'm pretty sure it's not there. Pretty sure it's not there. Because I've sat in heavy traffic, and like I said, the most mine will get was like 3/4.
Wow.
And mine, and no one ever did the thermobulb on mine because it doesn't have the. I'm pretty sure someone just ripped mine out.
Have you ever put a thermal laser sensor on the manifold to see how much heat?
No, I have one, but I've not done that.
You can check the manifold heat to the head heat and then see what you get.
But then again, I wouldn't know what's normal.
Well, I would say check Mike's, but you know how that goes on normal.
No, like that's not
Well,
normal.
he's 2 hours away too. That's a little bit of a trip. Manifold.
Yeah.
But I mean, just going by the temperature gauge, like the highest mine's ever went is like 3/4.
Yeah, we used to use those thermal meters and stuff on multi-pistoned air-cooled motors. So your center one or center two or center three always will run a tad hotter, but you could really tell on tuning the bike, you know, what was going on with those. They come in handy.
Mm-hmm. Check the flux capacitor.
Traveling forward in time.
Oh my goodness.
I'll check that right after my muffler bearings.
Muffler bearings.
Reminds me, my muffler bearings are going bad.
Those are optional.
Muffler bearings are optional?
Yep.
There were dealerships. I don't know whether I probably haven't posted this one yet, but there were where I told a story time. There were dealerships I worked at where some of the mechanics in the used car department that were doing service maintenance on vehicles that came in would tell people like that, like crazy. They would tell them that they needed the air rotated in their tires, all kinds of stuff. It was just amazing.
Well,
you gotta change a blinker fluid.
You have to change from summer to winter air. That's a must.
Yeah. That you gotta renew your blinker fluid every year or it'll freeze.
Yeah. I've had them slow down to where they're almost stopped.
Dude, I have worked at some really choice used car dealerships, and some of them where I would go into work, I was there maybe 2 days, and I just couldn't bring myself to go back.
You guys are a bunch of crooks.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been asked to leave the lot because I'd go off and just start telling potential customers exactly what was going on. My brain, I get a twitch like you wouldn't believe when people are treated like that. I just lose my absolute mind, and that's a short trip for me.
Oh my.
You've got people coming in with their hard-earned money that they've been saving, that they're scrimping, that they have to have a car. I mean, to even get to a job or do this or do that. And these guys were selling them straight crap.
And Leaky says, and four-stroke is an engine, not just a sex life. Oh my, that's instead of the 5-stroke joke, you get the 4-stroke joke. Oh my. I don't know. I've dealt with some choice individuals where you just think, you know what? You deserve everything you get.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but they had me coming in. I used to do safety and safety checks, And when I stamped it with my certification for my licensing, when I stamped that thing, it was my ass if anything went wrong after that. Well, they had me doing things and filling out these forms, and they told me to fill it out in pencil because their copy machine wouldn't copy pen. And I went, what? Well, come to find out, they're changing the check boxes. I said, this needs to be repaired before it's safe for resale. And they were taking and erasing the checks and putting in the other boxes.
Oh yeah, that's what you do. That's what you call cooking the books.
Yeah. But it was me that would be going to jail or locked up for their, for somebody getting killed in one of their vehicles that they certified was A1.
Oh yeah, they don't care.
Oh, I know that. That's why I quit working for a lot of places.
Because like you said, it doesn't come back on them, it comes back on you.
Yep.
They're pricks.
Yeah, I actually know some of the guys I worked for in the late 60s, early 70s. They actually come into Mom's store down there to get their clothes mended and stuff. And they still own little single person car lots and stuff where they got 4 or 5 cars sitting on it just down the road from us here. It's amazing. They don't remember me. Like I said, I've got this really awesome disguise on that took me years to perfect. So they don't remember me.
Yeah, Leaky said he works in the garage too. He works at a garage too. Feel you, bud.
Yeah, I'm all for, trying to cut corners to where, but when it becomes not safe, that's a whole nother thing. That's someone's life you're dealing with.
Oh yeah. But most of those places, safe don't make them money.
Right. They're behind the whole theory that they've got. They don't care about a repeat customer. They've only got it. There are a billion suckers out there. They just got to sell 1 car a day, and it doesn't matter if they ever come back.
Yeah, because they already made their money.
Yep. I've got people in the little thing that I'm doing now. I've got people that have been coming back to me for the last 25 years. So, I mean, granted, it only cost them $5 to get their stuff repaired, but they come back because they're loyal, not because I, screwed them once. I guess I'm just weird about things like that sometimes.
No. It just comes to you look and run business differently and someone else is going to run it differently. And
yeah, I get those guys that come in there all the time and tell me, "Oh, you got to raise your prices." If I raise my prices, then people that are truly indigent that need computers to, either fill out time cards or do this or do that, everything's almost done on a computer all the time. If I raise my prices, then I can't help them. They go, well, then they don't deserve it. I said, who are you to tell them they don't deserve it?
oh my. People are losing their mind over the net neutrality bullshit.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to hear that. What happened?
Oh, they repealed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Leaky, I do the same thing every week. But yeah, they repealed it, and some people are absolutely losing their mind. And I was talking to someone last night about it, and they were talking this and that, and I said, don't matter which way they vote. I said, they do it now. I said, I have Comcast. I'll have months where the internet's just great. Now out of the blue, I can't get online to save my ass.
Yeah.
It's just out of the blue. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna.
Well, when they've got the availability of 1,000 units of bandwidth, and they sell 10,000 units of that bandwidth, anytime anybody's using it all at the same time, you're not going to get anything. They overbook their bandwidth just like they overbook airplane flights. They only have 100 seats, but they book 120 seats, hoping somebody doesn't show up.
That's why they had to be sitting on the wing. That'd be bungee corded on the wing.
But I totally, well, that's like right now. I mean, I was just glancing at my Facebook feed while I was listening to what you had to say, and there's when the one guy I know, highly educated person, not a dumb person, he's losing his mind over them repealing it. What happened to the last how many years we didn't have this bill that just got repealed? Net neutrality has only been in effect for what, a year or two?
2 years.
2 years. I mean, I look at it this way. If a provider wants to throttle different services because they're not playing games, well, you got two choices. One, find another provider, or two, just don't use that service and go elsewhere. Now, for me, as far as high speed goes, Comcast pretty much has a monopoly on the area I live in. The next option would be DSL service, which is through Frontier. Used to be Verizon, but Verizon,
right,
part of their, when they bought out some cell companies, they had to let go of some of their markets. So this is one of the markets where, which Frontier is actually a subsidiary of Verizon. And I've known a couple people that had Frontier DSL, and it's horrible.
I had Verizon DSL one time, and it was so horrible, it's unreal.
Well, see, here's the thing that confuses me about it. Like, my mom, where we used to live, Comcast didn't offer cable up there at the time. The only company that would offer high-speed internet was Verizon. And because my dad, worked for himself, had a business in the home, they offered us the business class DSL. And while it wasn't quite as fast as I have now, it was definitely more stable and more reliable. We never had an issue with it. Now, Comcast, on the other hand, there was a couple years ago where there were just like weeks and weeks back to back to where just I'd have a connection for a couple hours and just poof, gone. Went through like 3 modems. Had Comcast here like 2 or 3 times. They kept saying, "Oh, it's the wiring in the house." I'm like, "Well, you guys ran all the wiring in the house, and it's only 2 or 3 years old. You told me the coaxial cable you ran is already bad. That's amazing."
They used the cheap stuff.
right.
I have Rectum service here.
Wrecked him, damn near killed him.
I pay out the butt for it.
Yeah, I get a lot of people that come into the store that are just on the outskirts of the small towns, and they're limited to all these little fly-by-night, off-the-wall providers. And they say, "Well, they promised me the same service and so forth and so on." I said, "Listen, all of the services comes from at least only 3 major providers. All these other small people have to buy their cable time, their line time off these big services. So if you're paying $1 for what the big people would charge you $50 for, and they're telling you you're getting the same service, you're out of your mind. It's all a gimmick for that. If you live outside of a major, out in the country and stuff, you're never going to get the reliability, dependability. And you have very limited resource to pick and choose who from.
Yeah, they want to talk about controlling, monopolizing the internet. How about controlling and monopolizing fucking service providers?
Yeah. Get those people that are talked into doing all those plug in and run from your satellite phone service and stuff, and then they wonder why it's dropped every 2 seconds and all kinds of stuff. It's just amazing how big a lies that all these individuals are told, and they just they take it or they change. Some people will change every other week because it was a better deal. I said, was it better? Was your service better? Well, no. I said, then why didn't you stay with who you were with? Well, they told me. I said, listen, they lie. They all lie.
Unless you're making a change for a specific reason or a long haul, or then there's no sense really changing.
That's what I tell them. I said, are you satisfied to a degree with what you've got? Is it dependable? Are you there every day? Yeah, but this guy's promising me more. You better stay with who you're with. Because a lot of people, once they drop the service they're with and they no longer want to utilize those lines out to where their house was, they want to charge them for reactivation lines back out to their house. Even though the lines are still there, they want to charge for and man, it's just ungodly the fees that they will get you if you drop them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's same. That's the same way if anything though. Christ,
Yeah.
They do that with vehicle insurance.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, cars and people, and I don't know. I sometimes I just want to never have to deal with another computer, another used car lot, and nothing, no salespeople whatsoever, because it's nothing but the money. Why don't my thing is, if you're just honest about what you're giving and what they're receiving at an honest, decent price, you will do better, longer, and farther. But it's just gone away. I mean, it's just a mess.
No, it's make what you can while you can.
Yeah, and look what it's done to our economy in the United States. All of our manufacturing companies are gone. It's all service providers, and all the service providing people are owned by companies that are outside the United States. So none of the money really stays here.
Mm-hmm.
We have absolutely screwed ourselves.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you make your economy a consumer economy.
Absolutely. Every world structure, every class of countries and stuff that have switched from a manufacturing building society to a consuming society is either one of two things: dependent 100% and paying out the butt to somebody, or they collapse, they go under.
And which one do you think we're close to right now?
I think we're splitting the hair between both of them. I don't see a way out.
The only way out is the rock bottom and then hope we recover.
Yeah, rock bottom. We all either start speaking Mandarin, Russian, or Hispanic.
It's going to be Mandarin because they own most of our debt.
Well, then we'll have to pick a dialect.
Yeah, I got mine already picked out. It's Smith and Wesson.
Mine's High Point.
I'm not going down fighting, right?
Dude,
I'm not going down fighting.
Yeah, they're going to have 3 good people. All right, the 2 they send after me, and the one guy that calls the ambulance to come and get us all. You might get me, but you're going to have to drag me and put me in that Ziploc bag, and I'm a lot of SOB to put in one small bag. But if I get 2 more years of riding around and visiting people and traveling and stuff like that, after that, the rest of the younger generation can absolutely have it, because I can't save them. Hell, I can't even save myself. If they all want to believe the promises and the hype and all the BS and stuff, I can't. You know, it's on them.
They're drones.
I'm waiting for when they start trying to come up with an explanation or reasons for self-driving cars to.
Oh my
God!
Don't start.
Because eventually they're going to get to the point that they're going to try to outlaw driving your own vehicles.
Individual travel, motorcycles, and you saw my rant, right? I mean, seriously, when they outlaw, I won't even be able to go out and get on my little 3-wheeled mobility scooter without permission and this and that. Come on, man.
We need an island, our own island.
Yeah. Problem with that is the way everything's going. The problem with getting an island is, unless the island has at least one mountain on it, so it's 1,000 foot tall, we're all going to be drowned.
We just keep on importing garbage and just make it taller and taller and taller every year.
Hey, did you see the TV commercial where Audi is going back to the moon?
Oh, are they?
No.
Audi is going to pay for, develop, design, and set up an entire facility on the moon. Oh my God.
Why they can pay that much more in tariffs when they import it back into the planet?
I don't know. I just saw the commercial for Audi is going to the moon. They're going to be the first non-governmental commercial travel, whatever, or facility on the moon.
Yeah, good luck building that biodome, and good luck with that.
I'll tell you, the little gray guys up there won't like it very much.
That's how you bankrupt a company that large, right there. I don't care how big Audi thinks they are, because let's face it, Audi is basically a subdivision of. They're owned by what? Volkswagen?
Well, I think what is it? Fiat, Volkswagen, Audi, and somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's something like that. Gopher on the moon.
There you go. They're only talking about that because Elon said SpaceX was shooting for Mars.
Right. Isn't it Virgin that's lost? He's lost his ass with trying to put all that people in space and fly that stuff.
Yeah.
Moto Matt Man.
What's up, Moto? I'll send you the link.
No, we don't need a gopher on the moon.
Yeah, we do.
You don't want me in zero gravity.
Yeah, we do.
He already
I want to see those rants in zero gravity.
As much crap as I sling now in 1G, you want to see it floating everywhere?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Demetrius-
I think I'm way too old and crotchety to even consider that.
Get to meet this little
Hey.
gray guy now on the dark side.
Hey, I'm sure you watched Space Cowboys just like I did.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's one of my dad's favorite movies. I think I'd have to set off all those nukes up there on the moon, just for shits and giggles.
Come get me now.
Top of the world, Ma!
I'm going to end all you fuckers.
Well, it wouldn't be too hard if you destroy the moon. That's going to change the entire way that our oceans work, which is actually the driving force for our atmosphere, which is actually it. That's game over.
Game over, man. Game over.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Cave Troll? Oh, man, it's Matt, too.
The troll.
Yeah, I finally got done arguing with Azura with the freaking phone insurance claim.
What were they arguing about?
Oh, because they had wrong information or something about that. And
I haven't had to deal with them for a claim in probably 3 or 4 years, but I never had too much trouble with them.
well, if my kid would quit breaking his phone, it'd be better.
Hand him a handful of quarters and tell him to go down to the street corner.
I don't even think we have any payphones anymore around here.
Really?
Oh, dude, they're a rare thing.
No. When I was 16 and 17.
What type of phone did your boy got? How does he keep breaking them?
Getting mad at his girl.
That's expensive. What's he have?
Well, now he's got a J3, so it's pretty cheap to replace.
Get him one of those jitterbugs.
I've been buying the cases like this for mine for years. And I still pay for insurance, and actually, theoretically, I don't really need it. I still keep it on it just because. But honestly, if he's that bad about phones, I'd switch to a GSM carrier and start buying phones off of Amazon for like $100.
Well, his phone goes off the plan on the 18th, so then he can get his own plan.
How old is he?
Oh, he's 19.
God. And see, I don't know what it was like to have a phone under someone else's, because I was the one in my family that actually had a phone. Like they got my phone.
See, I mean,
After I got mine, everyone else started getting them.
that's how it was for me. Like, my parents didn't have cell phones, but I did.
And at one point, I had like 5 phones on my contract. I was like first name basis with Alltel when Alltel was still around, because my bill was like $250 a month. I mean, it was seriously like, how can we help you today, Mr. Such and Such? I want to say, yeah, you better say that, because I'm paying enough.
I had Alltel back in the day.
I never had a complaint with them. They always treated me good.
Who'd they switch to? I can't remember.
When they didn't switch, they got bought out by Verizon.
Okay. Was it somebody before Alltel?
360 Communications was what it was called here.
Can't remember. It was too long ago.
It says here it was 360 Communications.
Yeah, I think it was the same thing where out in North Carolina as well.
And then AT&T for a while sold their cell phone division to Singular. And then they bought it back off of Singular.
Who you use now, Cape Tro?
Verizon.
I'm on Sprint, man. The signal around here just stinks.
Yeah, that's why I went with Verizon. When I first moved here, I had T-Mobile because that was what worked the best out in Washington State. And then when we moved here, if you were inside Johnson City, you were fine. But as soon as you went outside the city limits, T-Mobile didn't work. And the only thing that you would actually get signal, like up in the mountains and stuff, was Verizon.
I had, like I said, I had Altel, and when Verizon bought them out, I was real leery at first, and they treated me okay. And I stayed with Verizon for up until this year or last year. Anyway, I ended up, I just got fed up with the way Verizon was. As far as a customer, their salespeople just, I didn't like their practices, basically, the way the company was. And finally, I just got fed up, and I got tired. I wanted to be able to buy unlocked phones and not have to go into the store and have them activated. I wanted to be able to take my SIM card and pop it in a new phone and it work, basically.
See, I've never had a problem doing that on Verizon.
So I went to. So I've since moved to AT&T, and I've not had no issue with them so far.
Because I never go to the Verizon store.
And actually, let's see. It was actually cheaper for me to buy this phone through AT&T than it was through Verizon.
Yeah, I know that sometimes they'll do deals like that.
It was the same exact phone, no deal.
No, I'm talking about through the different carriers. They'll have, better deals on certain phones.
Because for the unlimited plan I had through Verizon, that I think it was like, I can't remember. I had two devices on it for the longest time, and then I ended up dropping the one off because my iPad was through Verizon. And I think my bill was like $120 a month. But that was before they went to the unlimited, because I was paying for like 10, 11 gigs a month or something like that. And then I dropped the iPad off, and that dropped it down. Then Verizon introduced their unlimited.
Yeah, when they brought it back.
Yeah. And I was looking at the price options of upgrading to from a different phone and services, and doing the whole installment plan. And for the Blazer to buy the same phone through AT&T, it was like $30 cheaper.
Yeah, I hate going to the store and dealing with those people.
I've only been to the AT&T store once, and that was to get the phone because I didn't want to wait for it to be mailed. I went and picked it up. And plus, I was changing my number over and all that. But
I can't even go to the store. They won't even help me. Corporate accounts, all has to be done online. They don't even have a corporate representative in our area.
Oh, jeez. And there was about like there was 2 years that I tried Sprint out. I bought a tablet through Sprint, and I wanted to try their network out. And for what I did, and for like the areas I've been, Sprint seemed to work okay for me. And actually, Sprint, again, I never had too much trouble with them, but
Mike, you need to lift your visor. Your barking's muffled.
Yeah. The missus is playing with dogs downstairs. I just use the internet to call people. Like, I mean, I get really good signal down at McDonald's. Doesn't cost me a penny.
That'll make you fat, though, if you have to eat a Big Mac every time you want to call somebody.
No, you just lean against the windows. Put some homeless clothes on, lean against the windows, all dirty and everything. Leave you alone.
Just get a greasy rag and you can clean the rub on the window and make a dime at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So they're actually paying me to use their internet.
Amy.
Like those guys when I was out in Las Vegas and stuff, they were had their cup out, sitting in a wheelchair, and they were on a $600 to $1,000 iPhone. And then when they were done with their shift, they just stand up and wheel the wheelchair off and collect all their money.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, that's why when my sister was out there with me and stuff, we were all out there, and she kept wanting to put money in their buckets and do this and do that. I says, well, let's sit back here and watch them for a while. And the ones that couldn't get up, or the ones that were actually good entertainers and stuff, I let her go ahead and give them money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have probably caused me to beat the crap out of them.
Oh, it was, I mean, there are truly people out there that are talented that you like to reward them for, being out there. And then people that, I mean, you can see they're missing arms and legs and things like that. But there are also, all they have to do is go downtown, file the paperwork. They get a little certification sticker that they can go and stand on one of them big circles all day long if they want in a spot, as long as they pay their fee, get their little permit. But they don't do any background check or anything. Anybody can do anything out there.
Yeah, I know in Durham, panhandlers are real bad where I grew up, and hell, a lot of them, they would go out there panhandle for 8, 9, 10 hours, and then if you follow them, they'd go hop in a freaking nice ass car and drive away.
Yeah, that happens with what I'm doing now, my volunteer service and all that stuff with my computer technologies and stuff. And the people will get sent to me or referred to me by a church or organization or whatever. Well, they'll drive up to my little rinky-dink store here in a brand new Cadillac, wanting free computers and free service and whatever. And I'm going, what? And then I get in trouble, of course, with the archdiocese. That's why I don't do so much with the Catholic institutions anymore, because they told me, well, you have to. I said, excuse me, this is mine. This is my organization. You don't tell me who I can and can't do things to.
Yeah, that was actually one thing about Washington State that I did like with if you had a car that was newer than 5 years old, you could not get any help from food stamps or any of the social services stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for people that need. That's great, but there's so much bastardization of the entire system and network. But I mean, how are you going to stop it? I mean, I guess all of us individually just have to pick and choose. That's what like I said, what I was telling her. Let's just observe for a minute and see what's going on. Because I'm all for helping somebody out or giving somebody a reward for being an excellent musician that comes out to share their talent with us. But let's just watch them for a minute, and then we'll decide whether or not you can give them money.
Oh, yeah. The ones I like is like where we park. It's like the first or second Monday of the month, though. The food bank opens, and you see the people carrying the stuff, out to their vehicles. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking. I was like, okay, that's vehicles what, 2-3 years old. I'm driving a 25-something-year-old. I'm driving a car just about 200,000 miles on it. I paid $1,500 for my car. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Okay.
Hey, I drive a 96 Crown Vic, so.
But again, I mean, it's like, you got the person who works and, they're driving. That's like I laughed when I went and paid the taxes on the bike. My bike is actually worth more than my car, which let's take a minute.
KLR.
Let's take a minute and examine that a KLR is worth more than my car.
Priorities, my friend. Priorities.
A 7-year-old KLR is worth more than my car.
Now I do like the panhandlers and stuff that they'll have the signs and they'll be like, I'm not gonna lie, it's for beer, or like just being straight up.
Oh,
I'll give them money in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same way when a lot of the guys would come and get all the computer scrap that we had to be recycled, and straight up they just what they were doing is they were getting it, taking straight down to Stakers and returning it in for beer money. They weren't saying, oh, I'm collecting for this church, or I'm doing this organization, or I'm doing this, or whatever, like a lot of the other ones said. And then they'd come with a 48-foot truck and want to take everything you had. And I'm going, wait a minute, you said you were doing it. Oh, yeah, we'll make sure it gets to where it needs to go. My ass. Just be honest if you want to.
I'd be getting the gold and stuff out of there first.
Yeah, well. That I did that for a long time, and then I started selling to these guys that were supposed to be recycling for the church, and then they come to find out that they're not. So I basically have pulled back. I still probably have 2 warehouse bays full of scrap computer stuff, and I'm just kind of waiting to see who's going to be honest enough to come up and say, yeah, we're going to try and do the right thing with it. But I could be holding it from now to doomsday.
Yeah, I'd say we probably will be.
But yeah, I'm with you.
You mentioned Durham. You mentioned Durham, North Carolina a while ago. There's a motovlogger that is making videos now where he's going out and he's not giving them money. He's fixing up water bottles and snacks and toothbrush.
Yeah, I just found his channel.
Who?
Speak.
He's care packages.
Yeah.
Speak.
SP.
Oh.
Yeah. SP3 AK.
All right, I'll look him up. Because I know Dodge Rider was out there. I think he moved, though.
No, he's still North Carolina.
Yeah, but I'm talking about. I know he was living in Raleigh, but I don't know if he moved.
No, he's still Raleigh.
Oh, okay.
This guy's in Durham, though.
Yeah, well, Durham's right. Like, it's Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. It's the triangle where you got Duke, UNC, and NC State right there.
No, he's still Raleigh because he works at Team Power Sports.
Yeah.
That's where Dodge works now.
I'm trying to find a marker here. I'm gonna make me a sign and stand on Cave Troll street corner. He gives money. He gives money for beer.
Actually, I'm thinking about getting a piece of cardboard and say, please, and get a sign, right? Please help, and go panhandle out in front of a Harley dealership.
Standing next to your KLR.
There you go.
Please help me get a real bike.
Oh, that would be hilarious. You have to do that for a video.
God.
See how many people stop.
Harley dealership would come out and say, "Move that thing away from our store."
Well, that's why you like if it's like a standalone Harley dealership, then you probably won't be able to. But if it's like the one around here where it's in a line of different car dealerships and stuff, you just post up right beside them.
Oh, that is so funny.
That would make a hilarious video, though.
I'll shoot the video if you'll stand there with the KLR.
You gonna come up here and do it?
Yeah, you guys can do that. You guys could do that, and the rest of us could run crowd control.
I'd do it for the comedic value.
Yeah, I don't know if we could do it to the one here in town. We might be able to do it up at Black Wolf. I don't know how true it is, but I know from what I've been told, like the one Smith Brothers is actually owned by the Outlaws.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. That's what I've just been heard from, like, different people.
Oh hell, man! The Harley dealers up here, they won't even take a Japanese bike on trade.
But I know the Harley dealership in Durham, it's owned by the Hells Angels.
Yeah, I'm not standing out front.
I'm not even going to shoot the video.
I mean, I'm stupid, but I ain't that nuts.
Hey, I hung out with a bunch of them. They're all nice guys as long as you don't piss them off.
Yeah, but you never, if it's like any of the old guys from the crew that I knew back in the 60s, you never know what's going to piss them off.
Yep.
The wind could blow funny, and it's all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, pretty much. You just try to stay on their good side.
Yeah, that's why I was always wrenching and painting their bikes and stuff and everything. So whatever made them happy.
Oh, let's see here. Northern. Oh, where is it? There's a Ducati dealer up north of Pittsburgh somewhere. I could go do that. Out from the Ducati dealer.
That would still be hilarious, though.
See how long it takes before they shoo me away.
I mean, even if you went and stood in front of a Kawasaki dealership and just had a sign, "Help me get a real bike."
Yeah, that's sweet.
Like, I mean, either one or two things are going to happen. They're gonna see it and they're just going to find it just as funny as we do, or they're going to get pissed off.
Oh man.
I mean, you might do it at a Harley dealership and they just think it's hilarious. So I know the guys up at Black Wolf are pretty cool. Like, everybody that I've talked to and everything up there, they're pretty cool. Smith Brothers here, I don't know, they're a little snootier.
Oh no, they may put you on their TV commercial.
We don't discriminate. We accept all types of people.
No, let's see here. Last summer, when I got my tires. When I went to get my tires put on, I had my dad haul them up in the truck. I had him follow me up with the tires. Well, I got ahead of him, and I got far enough ahead. He didn't see where I was going. I thought he knew where I was going, but I get to the place, and I'm waiting. I'm like, where the fuck is he? So I pull up my phone. I said, where are you? Oh, I'm on my way. I thought you was going to the other. I said, I thought you was going to the Harley dealership. I said no. Harley dealership is not going to put tires on his bike. And number two, how do you know where the Harley dealership is?
I don't know if you want to go to the Harley dealership to get a Harley to get tires put on there.
Yeah.
I think they're like, I can't remember if it was $65 or $85 an hour.
Cheaper just to take it, trade it in, and get a new bike.
Well, maybe a
KLR.
But yeah, he went to the Harley dealer, and I'm like, what?
No, he just thought you had a souped up version of the Scrambler.
Scrambler.
Harley don't make a Scrambler anymore.
No, but a lot of people are taking the Sportsters and turning them back into Scramblers.
I was like, number one, no. Number two, how do you know where the Harley dealership is? When have you been there? Is there something you're not telling me?
Wouldn't that be like motorcycle cross-dressing or something?
Yeah. And then he let it slip at one point that he did ride on the back of one bike at one point. I'm like, with who?
You cheater.
Because my dad, me only know my dad from a kid. He was all like, "Oh, you can't have a dirt bike or a 4-wheeler or anything fun," or because I really thought when I bought the bike, I was going to get this whole ridicule that wait until I'm in my fucking 30s to buy a bike, and I think I'm going to get ridiculed.
Have you seen that video? It's I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years or maybe more older. This guy, I guess he's away at college or moved out or whatever, and he bought a bike, and his parents were totally against it. But he, when he was living there, and so he bought a bike after he moved out, and then he drives up to their house.
Is he a kid? Does he live in Ohio?
I think so. I can't fully remember. But I know his mom comes out and starts freaking out.
Need beer money.
Damn straight.
Anyway, go ahead.
But no, it was just hilarious. His parents, his mom starts freaking out because he bought a bike.
Yeah. I remember seeing it. He lived in Ohio somewhere. I think he put that video up and then walked away from the channel.
I know he needs beer money, but secretly he's going to take that money and sink it into his KLR. He's lying.
All he's got to do is bring it up here. I'll fix it for him. I'm starting up a KLR garage.
Well, have a chain ready for him.
We're going to have to start a KLR intervention.
Intervention.
Everybody's secretly lusting. They've got a KLR fix that they need.
Hey, I need one for
Yeah.
him.
They're looking at KLR pictures instead of porn. I got it bad.
Be fiending for some KLR.
Yeah, Cave Troll needs one. We need to start up a GoFundMe for Cave Troll.
There you go.
I'll get one of these days.
Well, Christ! If someone can get, what was it, like $58,000 for to make potato salad,
Oh,
I think we can get you KLR.
listen, the way he looks and as big as he is, we'll give him a sign, and it can just say, "Give me your money now."
That doesn't work.
Oh, I've seen it work. It can work.
Especially when you walk into a bank.
No, because they tend to hit.
Getting out is the problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, that works for a minute until that die pack goes off, and then it's a real mess.
Oh no! Normally they'll hit the panic button then.
Thanks, Cave Troll.
Ah.
Need beer, buddy.
Or no! I need to go stand outside of the Honda dealership.
With the Buick?
No, not with the Buick. No. Honda motorcycles.
Oh,
Say, help me buy gold.
We need to find somewhere that has like a Harley dealership and then like a metric bike dealership right beside each other.
Oh, that won't happen here.
Stand in between them.
That will not happen here.
I believe there is a place over by New Philadelphia in Ohio.
There's only really like one metric bike dealer within like a 20-mile radius of me. The next one's outside of that 20-mile radius zone. And the rest are all Harleys, man.
I would say
I need
if you
to
build
go around and document where all the Harley dealers are.
I'd say if you build them next to each other here, one of them would burn down pretty soon. I'm not telling which one, but one of them would burn down pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what happened to Mouse's ear.
Yeah.
It burned down 3 times. I keep telling my wife, like when we were in Washington State, outside of the base, they had there was like these 2 or 3 little coffee shops, and it was called Bikini Bottoms. And it was just a drive-through coffee shop, and the girls would either be wearing pasties or lingerie or nothing at all. And I keep telling my wife, like, we just need to start one up here, insure it for, a couple of $1 million, even though it's only worth like 50, because it's just a little bitty shed kind of thing. And then, some religious group's going to burn it down. Instant millionaire.
We need to be business partners.
Yeah, but there's one problem. That's called insurance fraud.
No,
that would
insurance
work out
fraud
here.
would be if I burned it down.
Yeah.
I could sneak down.
God,
That wouldn't work out here where I am. There's probably 4 strip clubs. I can throw a rock and hit 4 strip clubs from this little hole in the wall that I'm at.
Yeah,
Guys, I don't want to be an accessory.
the only strip club we have now is called the Fuzzy Hole, which it should not be fuzzy.
Is that still open?
Yes.
Wow. It's been here a long time.
I guess because it's so close to the police department, it hasn't burned yet.
If it's been there a long time, is it now the moldy hole?
The rotten hole.
Gotta love. Yeah, there's like 3 metric dealers, but they're all like 20 some miles away.
I think we only have one, right?
Well, one, but he owns 2 stores
Yeah.
down the road from each other.
Yeah, I never know which one to go into.
Let's see here. There's Valley Harley. Trying to think.
Like a unisex bathroom. You're never really sure which one to go into.
The fuzzy one, not the moldy one.
Oh man.
I think if you're looking more what Honda and let's see, he's got KTM's both places. Honda and Suzuki at one, and then Kawasaki and KTM's the other one.
Hell, not. You would think if you're going to open up a store, a motorcycle shop, you would put it in an area where people can actually pull in and pull out relatively easy. Neither one of these locations are easy to get in and out of.
Yeah, the Yamaha on the hill there, you know where to park. You have to walk from that lower lot.
Yeah.
Like our Honda shop. You back right out into traffic.
Do people actually go into the Yamaha shop during the daytime?
Well, they've got KLRs there.
Yeah.
Oh, this turned into picking on KLRs. What's up?
It could be worse. It could be worse. You could be riding a BMW.
I didn't.
Who doesn't like being?
I heard that voice and I thought, man, Mike's voice changed. I didn't know she did.
Yeah, I just came in. So yeah, I'm the one in the side chat that mentioned I'm going to be living in Cincinnati as of next year. So.
Yes, I know you through Facebook.
You do.
Yes.
It's been a little bit since we chatted, but I have to say the weather has not made it very conducive to bike talk.
Sorry. Raven's been MIA for the last couple of weeks. Gopher here thinks he's
sorry. I'm sorry.
You didn't scare her off. She got busy.
That's what they've all said for the last 60 years.
It's not me, it's you. You did it.
Oh, I know it's me. Lots of documentation to prove that.
Seeing we've just met, I will take your word at that.
Oh, yeah, just ask Mike.
How would I know?
Oh, you got an idea.
You two got something going on I don't know about, or
I just don't tell.
What'd you have in mind?
Oh.
I heard the jealousy.
I thought it was aliens one night, and here was Gopher.
Hey, I ain't probing nothing.
That's what he says now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I could have swore he had a camera play recording.
It all changes later. What is that, 2:30 to 3 o'clock in the morning? Everything changes when the bar closes.
It's all fun and games till someone loses an eye.
Yeah.
Very true.
Hey, Matthew's live streaming right now.
Yes, he is.
Everybody's live streaming right now. I was actually on a live stream just before I came to this one.
She's a hopper.
Well, the live stream ended due to somebody hopping in and then banning everybody from it. And then while they had control of the stream, they streamed a lot of really interesting anime porn.
How did
Oh, well, that's
how did they come in and ban everybody?
I don't actually know how they banned everybody.
Looks like a good live stream though.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were having a good conversation about stuff, and then that happened, and it was very weird anime porn, which is, I guess, normal for anime porn.
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to say, what do you consider normal anime?
Not what I saw.
Well, you don't have to worry about that here. They have taken my purple crayon away.
Yeah, we don't do stuff like that here. I mean, we keep it straight. You know, we just hold up signs every now and then.
Beer money.
But we're not above coercion.
If you dig back far enough through my live streams, there was one point where I was brave enough to post the join link up in a side chat.
That's a big mistake.
Yeah,
That's what happened here.
I learned from that mistake, and I've since locked it down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now that I've seen other people, what happens when people make mistakes, I won't be doing that one. Oh yeah, because I saw things today I didn't want to see, didn't want to know happen.
Time for therapist, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe not quite, because it is just a cartoon. But if, good gracious,
Mike can help you. He can heal you.
Reverend Mike can heal you.
He is actually a good one.
that's
You'll still be really messed up, but
Yes.
in a different way.
But Mike will be better.
What I really need is to have the snow go away so I can ride my bike, or at least have the snow get off the road portion so I can ride my bike.
Oh, I'll be working for freaking weeks to get the snow gone.
That
Again,
brings up my question. What do you ride? What kind of bike you have?
I have a V-Star 1100 custom.
Oh, okay.
oh my.
I
Have
love
you-
my bike.
Have you seen what I ride? You understand why I said, oh my.
No, I haven't.
He's hanging out with a bunch. He's hanging out with a bunch of KLR guys. Does that tell you anything?
Yeah.
Hey, we all
I can only hope to aspire to the KRL level.
All you gotta do is put a lift kit and some mud tires on the GoPro. You're good to go.
I'm good to go,
Yeah.
period.
Even a KLR's got to slow down for him to keep up.
That's it.
That's an achievement there.
I mean, I have taken my bike off road, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, I take mine off road.
Yeah. You want to talk off road on a street bike? Talk to Cave Troll.
It surprised me. Though
He
I
has
actually
a real bike.
He has an old Harley panhead.
But
gotcha.
the thing is,
Double head.
he leaves a trail so he knows his way back onto the road.
I'm sorry, Shovelhead. I don't need Hell's Angels to rain down on me.
Yeah, we have enough of those in the area. I mean, Harleys. They kind of kicked the other aspect out quite effectively. I haven't seen a Hell's Angel in the area in years.
Speaking of that, I haven't seen very many outlaws riding around lately, Matt.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah, they in my area they took them down pretty good. They took down two clubs pretty close to each other, like they took them both down. And for Hell's Angels, they took down the one club they took down was the national chapter for Canada. Whoops.
The only real MC club outside of the Blue Knights here is the Brotherhood of the Wheel, is what we have.
Yeah. The only thing we have is something called the Regulators, and they still have to ask for permission from the Hell's Angels from this 3 or 4 cities over to even be a thing.
Well, that's MC courtesy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Protocol.
Lots of protocol.
Yeah, when I keep submitting my request to make the KLR MC, they just kind of they laugh and throw it away.
Well, they probably honestly around here they'd probably let you in just on the fact that they would sit there, point, and laugh.
Oh no, the Brotherhood of the Wheel. There's one guy they call Scooter.
Oh,
Everyone rides some type of cruiser except for him. He rides a sport bike, and the only reason they let him in because his father is part of it.
Ah.
But his nickname is Scooter.
every club has to have a house mouse.
Well, I mean, my fiance, he rides the Bergman, so he does automatically gets to have that nickname, Scooter.
650?
Yep, 650, no other kind.
Well, no, there's a 400. And
I know, but they don't exist. They're a myth.
Yeah, you have to have the 650.
Yes. He at one point
No,
had the four. He had the smaller one and he didn't like it. Not enough.
Does he wear sandals?
He does. You know what? He's done it once.
here comes the truth.
He's done it once, but then I can't really say anything because that was a really squiddy day. We were in Maggie's Valley, and we decided to go to a restaurant that was a mile away from our hotel. Yeah. In Maggie's Valley, a mile away from your hotel could be a side of a mountain.
She wasn't too far away from us then, was she, Grave Troll?
Yeah. I was just thinking, I was like, oh man, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's right. They did the dragon. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we were down the dragon this year. Though the dragon was surprisingly not as impressive as everybody was saying.
I don't think it is, just for the simple fact that so many people are there. Like, especially.
And I ride a cruiser, so I can't take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
Though I did scrape my floorboards at least 3 times.
Can you
Which was
imagine
fun.
me on that with the Go4 trying to go uphill and then just cruising down?
Put it neutral. You're fast going down that way.
I mean, there was a bunch of little ruckuses and stuff going down it. They were cute.
Well, those are speed demons compared to mine.
Nice.
That's all right. You everyone come meet up here. I'll show you something that'll put the tail of the dragon to shame.
Well, I mean, I went down the Rattler, and I thought that was a lot more fun.
We'll take you out some ridge roads.
Okay. Maybe I should get the other bike first. Other bike up and running. Something that's got a little bit more lean angle.
What's the other bike?
Don't laugh. 1981 Silverwing.
Woo!
That has more lean angle?
Oh yeah, it does.
The pegs are higher.
Oh yeah, they are. You're higher off the ground with. The only thing I won't be dragging peg. I'll be dragging center stand instead.
Well, no, because I've drugged the toes of my shoes on the KLR before. That's getting pretty far over there.
Yeah, mine. I don't really have to do much. I could be turning a corner in town, and all of a sudden you just hear, "Whoops."
Well, I'd have to open the door and stick my foot out to drag anything.
Put some tap shoes on, it'll sound better.
Yeah.
I still got a couple of lead foots from the 1 mile flat tracks I used to do way back.
Well, no, all you gotta do is just cut a couple holes in the floorboard and go for, and there you go.
Now,
Escape hatches.
I've owned a lot of cars like that were Flintstone mobiles, but I don't think I want to do that to the Go4.
Hey, Matt, have you been over to Dennis Cove?
It's been a good long time ago.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna record going up that curvy ass road.
I want to go.
I gotta get my tire fixed first. But yeah, probably come springtime.
Still
Just
have
use more duct tape.
Do what?
Okay,
Just use
don't-
duct tape.
I didn't know what a gopher was, but that's a rather intriguing looking thing.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, yeah. If you like that, wait till I get my Flossie trike done. It's a 74 rup-bodied Volkswagen trike. I just got to get it all put back together.
What were you saying, Mike?
I was saying, you haven't put the duct tape back on it yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Goddamn duct tape. I'll tell you, my dad thought that duct tape was the resolution for everything. Oh, you got a hole in your car? Let's just put some duct tape on it and spray paint it. No one will know a thing.
Dig out some of that 100-mile-an-hour tape.
I was just thinking that 100-mile-an-hour tape on his tire, you go 100 miles an hour and not have to worry about it.
I'm
telling
not
you,
sure it works that way.
Get some rubber cement, fill the holes, and then take some super glue to coat it.
Yeah, I think I'll just wait till I get paid and then
We're trying to help you.
Oh, that reminds
I've
me
got-
to buy another tire.
I've got the marker and cardboard. We'll get you a tire.
Cole goes, I was born a day, but not yesterday.
Killer rotors are cheap.
you have to remember there's places back here where if you break down, you ain't calling anybody. You're walking.
God, that sounds like here. I'll take you guys out where they just got pager service like 8 years ago.
No thanks.
Wouldn't be so bad, but half the time you're going to be walking up a mountain.
So you're basically saying a person needs a sat phone.
Probably.
Nah, you'd be far enough down the valley. Sat phone ain't gonna do any good.
I've got a truck, a trailer. Just send me smoke signals. I'll come get you.
So just note to
We-
self, don't break down near you guys.
We need to find Renegade Biker what happened to him, and he needs to run the chase vehicle.
Yes. Wait a minute. I thought the Gopher was going to be the chase vehicle.
By the time I get there, you guys will done be back to home. Walking.
Never mind, Gopher. We done fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm certain you could soup that thing up and make it go maybe 5 miles faster.
Well, speed's not the problem. It will do 80 miles an hour.
Oh, but the fact that you got one wheel on the front.
The fact is that one wheel's usually in the air at 80 mile an hour.
So put some weight on the front of it. Gotcha.
I'm 300 pounds. That's about as much weight as I can put on the front end now. She's not aerodynamic in any shape or form and extremely top heavy.
Hey, but she'll pull though.
Yeah, she will pull. Especially with me in it.
I like it though, the fact that all the pictures I'm finding for the most part have New York Police Station on them.
Yeah,
Yes, they used-
mine came from the Carolinas. They used to use it to carry their SWAT equipment.
To where?
Yes.
When they were making raids on homes and stuff, it carried the ammunition and the battering ram and all of that.
But they would drive it all the way from the police station just to do that, or would they actually have it in a truck to do it?
No, they drive it there. You'd be surprised how tight of corners that can actually go around and through. So they would drive them down those little streets all over. If you go to like places like Boston, where the streets are only 4.5 feet wide, those fit perfectly down through there.
I keep waiting for you to drive in between the two buildings.
Like I said, I'd lose my mirrors, but I probably, if I got going fast enough, it would go about most of the way through.
I think that was like the first video I ever watched of yours. You know, you were pulling up at your shop, and I was just like, "Holy shit, he's about to pull through the buildings."
At the end of that building, right where I'm pulling through, at the end of the other building, there are two of the gas meters. So it would be really interesting if I got going all the way through there scraping and sparking and hit those.
Whole new meaning to light them up.
Yeah, it'd be fun for a minute.
Toasty gopher.
Oh, you don't want to smell burning gopher. You ain't smelt nothing till you smell burning gopher.
Nope. Pass.
Nope.
Hard pass.
I
I
work.
don't like burned anything. Ugh.
Oh, I helped field butcher a lot of stuff, and at some of the slaughterhouses, they actually had those weed burners they used to burn the hair off of the belly parts so they could start butchering. Yeah, that's a smell you just can never get out of your nostrils.
Sounds interesting.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I can get a hold of Raven.
Hey, does
Raven, come home.
Oh, Facebook.
your channel only have like 4 videos on it?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
We have another one as well, but it doesn't have much more. I do most of my things on going on other people's live streams. We're working on more stuff, but we're tiny. But it works.
Well, you got another sub now.
Well, thank you.
I'm just having fun watching people lose their mind over the net neutrality.
Yep. That's gonna. I have no idea what's gonna happen with that. I just figure I'll just go with what I can control and ignore what I can't.
Well, they repealed it. I mean that law that everyone's losing their minds has only been in effect for maybe a year, and I didn't notice any change.
Well, I mean, as long as they don't try to divide it up like some people have been talking about.
Oh, those things are so cool looking. Truck treads.
Like I keep telling people, or like I had I had a customer. What was it, Tuesday? You guys are gonna get a kick out of this. This dude is really, tinfoil hat. World coming to an end.
Hey, I like
Anyway, we got talking about our government, this and that, and this guy, he collects currency, and we got talking, and he gave me. Mike knows about this because I was talking to him about when I got home. He gave me a $20 billion bill from Zimbabwe.
$1.98.
Well, he's got about 20 of these. And this is his reason of thinking. He said, eventually, they're talking about it. He said, eventually that country's going to go back to the gold standard. And he said, when it does, they're going to start calling these back. And he said, when and if they do, your life will change overnight. And I said, hey, whatever, I'll take it as a... Yeah. I was like, hey, whatever. I got nothing. I got no money in this. Okay, whatever. So when I got home,
he knows the
I
size
decided.
of Zimbabwe, right?
Huh?
So he knows the size of Zimbabwe, right?
Yes. I imagine he does. I don't know. Well, anyway, I started doing research when I got home that night. And just for shits and giggles, I typed in what the exchange rate for this would be. And every time I checked it on the, I forget what website it was. It came to like 1.9 billion. I'm like, or 1.9 million. I'm like, that can't be right. So I dug a little more and found out that what happened, basically this is not considered legal tender anymore. They outlawed this. I don't know if the guy dug deep enough to know that or what, but
Next time he's in, ask him if he is a flat earther.
well, the thing that really kills me about it, like, you know, like our money says, like, in God we trust and all that.
Yes.
On this, their slogan is, I promise to pay the bearer on demand.
Nice.
I promise. That's amazing. So
Very
yeah, Mike was joking that I could buy the country of Zimbabwe with this.
Yep.
Country of Zimbabwe.
Moons and Dragons videos. Is that the right channel?
Yeah, that's the one that me and my fiance have together.
Okay.
Wait, what's the one where it has your name and nerds or whatever?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one with me and my fiance.
Okay. Gotcha.
I have like my own personal one is the 2010 is Serafina 2010, but they're both our channels. Those basically we do our vlogs together are gonna go on that one, and then if I do anything separate, I'll probably put it on my own.
So stuff she don't want him to know about.
No, he knows about it. I
Top
mean, I have really silly stuff on mine right now, like my dog taking out my brother at the knees.
But for our own
Puppies.
Yeah, our we adopted we adopted a golden lab, and he was outside playing with this lab. My brother was, and he went to run after the tennis ball, and the dog charged at him, and he trips over and flies like 5 feet. And I'm trying not to laugh. It sounded like something was broken.
There you go, Mike. Set up a puppy date.
That's it.
Puppies are
Yeah,
out.
but that's clear in Cincinnati.
Well, that
That's
dog's actually in.
Gopher.
That one's actually in Ontario, but we have pups in Cincinnati too.
You're actually closer to Gopher than you are to us.
Oh, please don't scare her now. I mean, it'd only take me like a week and 2 days to get down there from here. So
A week and 2 days.
Well, as long as you had straight roads, it wouldn't take that long.
but it would.
How often would you have to fill that thing up with gas?
On the tank, the problem is that you can take an eyedropper and fill the tank, but I don't go very fast or very far. I'll take her 15 miles at a stretch before I stop and let it rest. I'm not one for speed. I'm just there for the fun.
That works.
That's why he fits in with the KLR riders.
I think you all just take pity on me, but I appreciate it.
Well, no, he gets about 15 miles, and about 20 miles we're ready to get off because our butts are killing us.
Yeah, mine. I can go for a lot longer than that before I need to take a rest. I mean,
I can go a lot longer too, but
was it the weekend that we spent near the Dragon? I think we did like 2,000 miles that weekend.
miles is saddle sore.
Mine's like driving a giant vibrator.
Well, now actually, here's a good one for you. Friend of mine's a mechanic, and one of the jobs he was hired to do a few years back was hook a vibrator into the passenger seat that was connected to the throttle.
Why
Yes.
didn't the guy just buy a Harley?
Apparently, he had a Goldwing. He just wanted to make it a little bit more fun.
Did he hate the person in the back, or?
Oh no, I'm sure he didn't hate her.
No, that was all love right there.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I mean, depending on. I mean,
Oh no, trust me. From anybody that's had a passenger on a Harley, it's all love.
Yeah.
Your back never gets cold.
your back never gets.
Or dry.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't saying it.
That does
Oh,
it.
don't worry.
I'm trading
I'll
the
say it.
KLR.
Great. Yeah, but you never had no one on the back of yours, though, Matt, right?
No.
So how do you know yours won't do the same thing?
Well, hey, honey, let's go for a ride. I just got to look. Let me tell you.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I've looked at the back of my bike while it's idling, and it shakes pretty good.
Hey, I'll never forget Matt's face when he pulled up beside me and was sitting there looking at my side mirror.
I thought, are we going to have to start picking up parts or what?
Yeah, my bike vibrates pretty good too, but not in the seat area, unfortunately. Just in the handlebars.
Well, contact your mechanic buddy.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
well, you do got to focus on the road, so.
I do have to focus. But see, the thing is, I don't know how much I need to focus. I don't know if it's that important.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got to
yeah.
have our priorities straight.
That would be it.
Besides, riding around Cincinnati and the roads around there, well, not necessarily Cincinnati, but riding, like, we'll say from Cincinnati to Columbus, there's no having to pay attention. There is just, let's go as fast as we can go and see how fast we can get there.
Still got to pay attention. Make sure you know, like rear end a semi or.
That would be her
details.
video. That would be her video on her channel, not theirs, and it would probably go viral.
I think she's starting to talk about a whole new channel. This is the one where it's a pay-per-view.
Patreon only.
I'm actually digging through my piggy jar right now.
Oh God, that would be hilarious.
Oh yeah,
If you worry about
hilarious.
just hook up the instead of to the throttle, hook it up to the rear brake. That way you're slowing down.
I changed my sign.
I need money.
Need money for Patreon.
Just need money.
Help a brother out.
Hey, wait a minute. We're still live, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh no.
There goes that monetization.
Oh, dude, it was long gone. What are you talking about?
You can borrow my sign, Dante.
It was long gone.
Yeah, yours normally starts off like the first. You should just do it for like 30 minutes, and that's about as good as you're going to get for monetization. After that, it goes downhill.
It goes downhill quicker than that.
Yeah. At least you didn't, like I said, had the issue my friends had. Oy vey.
Yeah, after this is all over, she's the only one that's going to be making any money.
Wow. I'm not that kind of gal.
Oh no, I meant to the Patreon.
Gotcha. I need to actually make a Patreon.
Oh yeah, just let us know.
Let's see. Let's see. There's
Hey, Gopher,
one,
I got a
two.
Patreon.
Oh goodness.
I got
I'm
a
counting.
Patreon, Gopher.
I'm
You
counting
do?
first.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Here comes the random request.
I can't think of anything right now.
You
It's
stumped
a
him.
first. It's a first.
Because we're still live.
All right. Well, we've been going longer than I really.
You're
planned.
gonna have to put on that Bigfoot suit for to make any money off of me, buddy.
Why'd you turn your camera off, Dante?
Because I'm laughing too much.
Is he putting the suit on?
You know what the best part is? I don't think Gopher has any idea.
What about the furry
No,
thing?
Well, no, not just about that.
he
I don't
just
know
don't
how
have any idea.
I don't know how far back you dug on my channel though.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow.
All right. Anyway, we're going to end this live portion. Everyone who came to watch,
It's
thank you.
about to get dirty.
You know, after it ends, it doesn't necessarily end. But everyone who watched, thanks for coming. See you next week. Anyone have anything to say before we end it?
And again, I apologize to everyone.
You don't need to apologize.
My name's Gopher, and I haven't been sober in 20 years.
Yeah, Matt needs money.
Are you saying you need beer again?
Oh, you don't want to see a drunk. You do not want to see a drunk Gopher.
Cave Troll need to KLR.
If I didn't have to work tomorrow, I might open this rum, but I have to work tomorrow, so the rum is going back away. I keep rum beside my desk because why not?
All right, live streamers, we're out.
Well,
See you.